guys have fun?
What a night. Wow. Told you last time I was here that Ireland's pound for pound the loudest, greatest place for an event, and they blew the doors off this place tonight, man. It was crazy. I literally have every fighter in the UFC roster saying they want to fight in Ireland now. Everybody wants to fight in Ireland. The attendance tonight was 9,500. We did a $1.4 million gate US. The performance of the night goes to Gunnar and Connor. And the fight tonight, and one of the greatest comebacks I've ever seen. I didn't say it yet. How do you know what I'm talking about? Cathal and Mike King, man. Congratulations, you guys. Great fight. Connor will be here in a minute. He's still dealing with the commission. Who's got the first question? Grab the mic, yep.
Who to start with? I'll start with Ian. You've got a bandage around your finger, and yesterday I noticed at the weigh-ins when you were squaring off and you had your hand out, like that finger was kind of extended. Did you have a bad finger going into the fight?
Yes, I do. I had two surgeries last year after my fight in Brazil. I crushed my hand pretty bad, and it's never fully recovered, but that's just how the world goes for fighters, you know.
Brad Pickett, did he give you any specific problems you weren't expecting? And what did the strength difference feel like? Because you look like you had a bit more size than he did.
You know, I wouldn't say he was stronger than me. He was just heavier. You know, I think the speed was a big thing. Especially on the ground, I think it was. I'm just as stronger than he is. Wrestling-wise, I think I showed I'm definitely technically better, but I think, you know, technique and strength will always be better than just bulk and strength.
Thanks. And Cathal, congratulations, huge night, well done. If you could just tell us something, you know, how the fight felt for you, and also did the crowd play into you making that comeback at all?
Well, the crowd are amazing, but if you look at my fights, I'm the type of fighter that I just never give up, and I'm always in a fight. And I know a lot of people said they thought I was done, but at no point during that fight did I think I was done. And I was in a bad position, but I was always coming back to win that fight.
A question for Neil Seary. Neil, congrats on the win, and on behalf of the room, condolences on your family's loss, and special thoughts to Alan.
Thank
you. Any chance you weren't going to turn up tonight and fight because of what you and your family went through?
No, not a chance. No. It was one of them that had to be just selfish for the week, that I just had to switch off and go out and do what I had to do. And now I can go home grieve with the rest of my family, so that's just the way it goes.
And you mentioned in the post-fight interview you were a little bit disappointed with your striking. You thought it was sloppy. You looked like you were really trying to stop, like you were trying to knock him out with every punch. Was that going through your mind?
Yeah, well, there was a lot going through my mind this week, and I just wanted to get in there. Everybody knows that I try to finish every fighter that I get in there with, and I had a couple of occasions there that I could have finished him, but I just didn't want to commit to that ground game with him because I know he's strong off his back and stuff, you know. So with that, I was wrestling, and as you say, me boxing was sloppy tonight, but I came away with the win. That's all that counts.
And how do you feel? Like how soon would you like to get back in? Any injuries coming off the fight?
No, I feel 100%. I'd love to take a week off and then straight back in. Fight anybody at this stage.
Great. Question for Norman. Congrats on the finish. First finish in 5 fights. How soon would you like to get back in? I know you called out Diego, but how soon would you like that or another fight to happen?
Well, I'm going to take a little bit of time off after this fight. I'm going to go on holiday for a few weeks, so I'm probably looking at maybe, what are we on here, July, October time, maybe October, November. But I hear the UFC's coming back to Sydney in November, so that'd be a great card to get onto. So, you know, I'm willing to fight anyone. You know, I said before, I'm tough. I ain't no easy fight for no one. You know, and I says I was going to finish this dude tonight, and I did it. As the saying goes, it's like a box of Pringles. Once you pop, you can't stop. You know, so it's great to get back on that track again.
Conor McGregor, over here to your left. Congratulations, huge night, well done. And I'd just like to hear your thoughts about the fight, the crowd, the kind of pressures you were feeling, the whole build-up, and how it turned out.
It's a dream. It's a dream come true. And to walk out there and the noise of that crowd, like, it actually got so loud that it wasn't sound anymore. It was like a buzz. It was like a buzzing. Like, it went past sound. It was phenomenal. You know,
It got to 111 decibels after when he came out and during his fight and when he won. A rock concert is 110.
There you go. We Irish love to have a knock, and you know, and we've been starved of this of the UFC for 5-6 years now. You know, this is our first event. I'm proud of all the Irish people and all the diehard UFC fans that came out and showed that we are a nation that supports this sport and the UFC. You know, and I believe football stadiums, Aviva Stadium or Croke Park is definitely in the near future. As I was saying to Dane and Lorenzo backstage, there's a big festival on right now, a big music festival on in Marley Park. The All Irelands are then as well tomorrow, I believe, or one of the days. But there's been big events on around this whole event. But yeah, every single thing is sold out in record time. So it's there. So hopefully, now I don't know what way the champion, the current champion's out injured at the minute. So let's bring one of these so-called number one contenders over and let's fill out a stadium and let's see who the real number one contender is.
Dana, you said the fight at one point was louder than a rock concert. Is Conor McGregor a rock star?
People like him.
Can you confirm the rumour that the UFC is going to be flying this crowd to every event from now on?
Yeah, I want to do a fight here again next Saturday.
Carl? Oh, hi. In that first round, did you think the fight was close to being stopped?
I was worried about it at one stage, but thankfully I have one of the best referees, if not the best referee in the world, in there with me, Mark Goddard, and he knew I was still in the fight. You know, he could see that I was still trying to defend myself, and I was still trying to fight back. So I'm very, very grateful that Mark Goddard gave me the opportunity to do that, and you know, allowed me to be part of the fight tonight. I've changed my life here tonight, making this $50,000. Is it euro or dollars? I don't know. Well, whatever it is, I've just changed my life. So thanks for. Thanks, Mark.
A lot of the media members had that first round scored 10-8 to King. So did you feel after that first round that you had to finish the fight to win the fight?
Yeah, I did. I wanted to go. To be honest with you, I wanted to go out there and put on a performance and stop the guy because, you know, I'm coming off the back of a season that, you know, Dana wasn't too impressed with the fights, and I wanted to change his mind about me and, you know, about Mike and everyone on the show. So that's why I packed my Louis Copeland suit, because I knew I was going to put on a performance of the night, and I was going to be sitting in the press conference.
Question for Conor. Conor, you've been in the UFC for a while now, a couple of fights. You've won before, but can you just describe how special this feels for you to be winning on a card in Dublin with 3 of your team members alongside with you?
Honestly, sitting up here and then listening to all the other Irish voices and all, but even there's a guy, David Allen, there who's he's like senior executive or something. He's like he's backstage now. He's an Irish guy, you know. We're creeping in bit by bit, yeah. But before you know it, there'll be an Irish guy up there as well talking. So it's exactly as I planned. Yeah, I didn't say we were here to take part. I said we were here to take over.
You've obviously said, you know, heading into this fight that you think that you could be the champion by the end of the year. And, you know, we've had Cub Swanson here all week. A lot of talk about potentially fighting Poirier next. Give us a name. Who do you want next? If you had to pick one fighter to fight next, who would it be?
You know, I know Dane. I personally have a vision of myself as the world champion. by the end of the year. And I've heard Dana said he won't be world champion by the end of the year. But who knows? You know, with this game, I have this clear vision. Like I had this vision that I was going to bring these back here when I first got the opportunity. Like I had the vision when in UFC 93 that I was going to be the guy to get in there and do it. You know what I mean? The same vision I had then, I have now. So who knows what can happen? Now, injuries happen in this game, and all I know is I stay ready. And, you know, I'm looking to get as quick a turnaround as possible and climb that division. And one by one, I will eliminate the whole division. When I am finished, there will be nobody left.
Just one question for Dana here. Dana, Carl Pendred, we've had some amazing comebacks in the UFC. Where does that rank for you?
No, it was awesome. I mean, I told these guys, not just him, but the guys from, you know, that awesome season of The Ultimate Fighter that fought last week, or 2 weeks ago, whenever it was. I said, you know, you can turn the entire season around in one night, and they did. Every one of them that fought did. So it's one of the greatest comebacks. I scored that first round 10-8 too, and I also think that fight could have been stopped in the first round. So,
just one question about Dublin itself. You've had a deal with Brazil. You're going there multiple times a year. Could you see yourself doing that here in Dublin? Maybe going 2 or 3 times a year?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. The problem is the arena's so small. You know, I mean, if it's like he says, we could do a bigger arena, and you know, I'm not too confident in your weather in an outdoor stadium. Okay, this isn't Abu Dhabi, so I don't know. I mean, anything's obviously. I love it here. The fans love it here. I mean, the media. Some of these media guys from the United States paid their own way over here, and I got media guys texting me from the United States saying they wish they paid their way over here. They'll do it again next time. I got Tyrone Spong back here telling me, sign me for one fight. Sign me for one fight. I want to fight in the UFC and all this stuff. Oh, there he is. Yeah. He says, sign me for one fight. I want to fight in Ireland. I need to fight in Ireland. And all the other fighters are telling me they want to fight in Ireland. Manoa was telling me last night, I love this place, man. I've never been to Ireland. I love this place. We were out last night. He's telling me how much he loves it here. I mean, everybody loves this country. It's awesome. And then this guy's scaring me with the visions. You know the visions thing? Ronda Rousey tells me about all these visions she had and visions, and now he's doing the same thing.
Can you talk about the fans? Because if you're watching this on Fight Pass, on TV, or wherever you're watching it around the world, the fans play such a big part.
The most successful Fight Pass fight ever.
Really?
Yeah.
Probably no surprise there. But can you just talk about the fans and how much of an important part they play in the viewing experience of UFC on TV? And
yeah, well, it's this crazy thing, again, talking about Ireland. The first fight here that we did in Ireland, I said, pound for pound, this is the greatest place ever. The noise, the this, the that, you know, the first time we were here. And then the second time we're here, it's like the event in Ireland has become an event in itself. You know what I mean? It has now become this place people are like, wow, I have to see a live event in Ireland. I don't know if I answered your question, but that's the answer.
Question for Mr. Paddy Houlihan. Paddy, obviously you're first up tonight and the biggest underdog out of the Irish fighters on the card. How did being the underdog make you feel coming into the fight? And can I also ask, how much did your win provide a catalyst and a domino effect for the other Irish guys on the card, do you believe?
They're not really thoughts though we would be having walking out that door. The biggest thought I had was the good Dana. I don't even know if he knows. I don't even know if he understood what I was saying that day. But when he was sitting there with Ronda and Misha Tate at that time, I had that horrible experience, and I know that we both have a common enemy, so that makes us friends. So he told me, if we come back, I said, if we come back to Dublin, would you give me a 125 shot? And he just nodded and said, yeah. So that was a promise to me. So I've been working back towards since then, and that's all I've been thinking about. And I was thinking about going out there and just getting whoever it was out there, and that was just the way it happened.
And Dana, from a business or promotional perspective, do you believe Conor McGregor stays on the European scene, or is he ready for the pay-per-view and Fox shows? And could I also ask Conor, would he have any preference on where he fights next?
Well, nobody really stays on the European scene. I mean, everybody fights everywhere. You know, Diego's from Brazil. He's not on the Brazilian scene right now. He's out here. I mean, wherever you go, you know, it doesn't matter where you're from, you can fight anywhere in the world. You know, Conor's next fight definitely isn't going to be in Ireland and probably not in Europe. He'll probably fight in Vegas.
Paddy, you talked a lot about visualization this week. Was your finish exactly what you had dreamt all throughout the week?
As I was only saying to John before we went into the place, that in your head, sometimes when you're visualising it, you're hitting him, but he's not dropping. So then you just go out there and just hit him, and then they do drop sometimes. So I think I've been dropping guys, and I'm a flyweight with one shot, and I'm dangerous on the ground, I'm dangerous everywhere. So I think I can give this a good run, yeah. And have Conor, he taught me a few things, you know.
Question for Dana. Something like this, you see how big the event was. Would that prompt maybe a mini international fight week to be brought to Ireland, make it a longer event?
Every time
you
we have a
go
good
ahead
event
and
somewhere,
say-
somebody says, you bring in International Fight Week here. International Fight Week's in Vegas. The 4th of July week. That's where it'll always be.
Usually it might be Gary or someone who knows, but usually at these events in Europe, it's confirmed about a date for the following year. Is it due to the stadium situation that we won't maybe know for the next couple of months when and if the UFC will be coming back to Dublin?
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, Gary, you want to make that call right now or what? No. Didn't think so.
It won't be 5 years though.
No. Hell no.
One final thing for Conor. Dustin Poirier just tweeted, UFC 178 sounds good to me. End of September. What do you think?
Yeah, that would be perfect for me, because I already know that guy does not want to fight. His teammate Cole Miller, they're from the same camp, pulled out of the fight. He was scheduled to be here to compete tonight, but he pulled out. And you're trying to tell me that Dustin Poirier, top 10 guy, and Nick Lentz, a top 10 guy, both of whom had no fight scheduled, didn't know about Cole's injury? They would have known before the UFC would have known. They would have heard about the UFC, or they would have heard that Cole was pulling out before the UFC would have heard. And yet nothing. They didn't campaign for it. This is a main event slot, one of the fastest selling. You know what I mean? It's a big event, but yet there wasn't a peep out of both of them. So I know he doesn't want that fight. He can pretend that he wants to fight and send out his little tweets about this and that, you know what I mean? But let's do it. One by one, I will take every single one of them out. If next in line is Dustin, that's no problem.
I have a question for the SBG Ireland team, really. One of the things that you guys bring up all the time is John Kavanagh. I know you haven't got all night, but can you sum up just how much John brings to the team and helps you progress your talents?
Who's that for, me?
For anybody from the SBG.
Honestly, I think I speak for us all. John has changed our life. John has such a... He's so precise with details. It's the little details that, when John says something, some sort of little movement, and it just makes complete sense. And his approach as well, it's a laid-back approach. Nothing is forced. John has definitely been an inspiration for us all, and we've all came up under John. Without John, there is no us. John, they don't call him the godfather of Irish MMA for nothing. And anyone that knows him and anyone that has trained with him knows that he is a master of human movement. He's a genius at this game.
It's not just on the mats that he helps us out either, though. Like I just said, I changed my life earlier on, and as Conor said before, we don't have a pot to piss in. Until you're in the UFC, you don't make any money. And John has let me stay in his apartment free of charge, and don't have to pay any rent. And I will now. Well, I'm not living there. Well, I'm not living there anymore. But no, he has let me live in his house free of charge, and that's what I'm saying. It doesn't just stop in the gym. John has been there for us. There's four of us here: me, Gunny, Conor, and Paddy. We've been training together since we were 18, 19, and we've come up. And John has been
since Gunny just wore his pants to training.
John should have gotten performance of the night, actually.
Yeah, I agree.
Has any coach gone 4-0 with 4 stoppages in the UFC on one card before? I don't know.
John's an MMA scientist.
I'm sorry, one final question for Neil. Neil, after the Brad Pickett fight, almost 24 hours later, there was a picture of you that went viral back at work. Are you going to take any time off after this, or is it back to work on Monday?
Looks like it's back to work on Monday.
Question for Dana over here. Do you have an idea in your mind yet who you'd like Conor to fight next?
No, I don't know yet. We'll figure it out.
And I was just curious because Kahal brought it up. Are the bonuses on the Euro shows in Euro or US dollars?
Euro.
What are they? U.S. dollars.
Okay.
Boo.
And one more for you. Given Gunner's performance and how he's fought as of late, yesterday we were talking about if Rory McDonald made sense. Do you think he's ready for that, or do you want to move him up a little slower?
I don't know. You know, I think that. You say that's the fight he wants? Is that what he said he wanted?
That's what his coach wants. He doesn't like calling people out, but that's what his coach wants.
I don't know. Let me talk to the guys and see what they think. You know, what I don't like is you see these guys who are talented, super talented, but don't have the big fight experience yet, taking these big jumps up. But we'll see what happens. I don't know. We'll see. Let me talk to his people and talk to him and really see what we want to do here.
Question for Diego. Once you were in there and experienced everything, did the crowd get to you at all? Because obviously it was very loud. Did you even notice them? Did it affect your performance?
No, actually, first of all, I want to say thanks to Conor McGregor for, doing what he say, finishing the first round. Congratulations. So, I think the Ultimate Fighter make me very prepared for that. Stay in the house, fight 4 times in 6 weeks. I was ready for that. The fans just pumped me up. I was excited. It's like we fight in Brazil. So it's the only thing I think what's happening is fatality. He's punched me first instead of I punching him first. So it's happening. So I'm very happy for my performance because I trained so hard, spent 9 hours on day for this fight. I was excited. So he's the best tonight. So congratulations. So I'll be back strong next time.
Anything you wish you could have done differently?
I think I walk a little bit for the side. I was not supposed to walk for his right side. I was supposed to keep it for the left. So as soon as the moment I stopped there, he's hit the right way. So he's the man tonight. I was proud of him tonight. So he thanks everyone for coming. You guys amazing crowds. So.
Just one last one for Patty. You mentioned that you and Dana have a common enemy. Who's that?
I don't even want to give him press, to be honest. The guy that just held me to the fence for 2 5-minute rounds, and it was absolutely horrible. Josh Hill, I don't like that guy.
Thank you.
Ariel doesn't even know what the hell you said. You have no idea.
Question for both Conor and Diego over here. Throughout the week, you seemed very calm and cool and collected. And hands down, you gave us one of the liveliest weigh-ins that we've ever seen. What was it that kind of changed in contrast to the cool, calm and collected? I mean, is there a story behind that, or were you both just getting into fight mode?
When a man is hungry, they are different, We were both hungry, we were both making weight. I don't know, we were sitting backstage and he took his flag out. And I wasn't even planning. I wasn't even planning on walking out with the flag for the weigh-in. I said he's taking his flag out, so I'm going to take my flag out. But then I also took my top off. So I took my top off and my flag out, and then he just had his flag out. So I looked over then, and he had his top off then, and then his flag out. So the two of us were pacing back and forth. And then when we got closer together, we were just going at it. These things happen, 2 men hungry, he came to fight this time. I've shared cards with him before, and I think. He made 145 on the dot, championship weight. So I respect him, I respect where he came from. He won the Ultimate Fighter. But I came here to fight, you know what I mean? I wasn't, nobody was going to take this away from me. And I was willing to fight backstage if that's what it took, to let it be known that I was here to fight. You know what I mean? I wasn't going to give any advantage whatsoever. Even when we came back before Dana's after the weigh-ins, Dana gives us a speech and the security is separating us again. It's just emotions running high, There's a lot on the line for us here. This is the fight business. Everything is on the line for us here. We put our whole lives into this game. So, when you put us together, things are going to happen. It gets heated. It is what it is. It's the fight business. Ultimately, it all ends inside the octagon. It's respect, really. You know what I mean? But this is the fight business.
Norman, I heard we've seen Conor Spearhead bringing the UFC back to Dublin. how much do you want it to go up to the Odyssey? We've seen an event there before. Do you think there is a chance of the UFC coming to Belfast in the near future?
Yeah, we just asked Dana that about an hour ago, didn't we, Dana? And he said, yeah, there's a possibility. They're looking at the options, so that would be a great opportunity for me to headline or something, co-main event. The last time they were there was 2007, so that's a long time ago. So it'd be great if they could have an event there. That would be absolutely unbelievable.
And just one more for Ilir. We saw you yesterday come out in the weigh-in.
What'd you call me? What'd you call me?
No, we saw you come out yesterday waving the hurley, and then we saw your backroom staff come out today. How important was it for you to get the Irish fans on your side straight away?
Well, it was very important. The Irish fans are amazing, and of course, you know, when you're fighting and the crowd is cheering and supporting you, it means a lot. So it was nice. It was nice to have the support, and it was, like I said before, it's amazing fighting over it. It's like in Stockholm, Sweden, we have a crazy crowd, and it's a big arena. But this was like, I never seen anything like it, and just thanks to all the Irish supporters and all the people that were here today.
Yeah, I also have a question for Ilir. Tjena mannen. First of all, congrats on a great performance and a great win. Who is next for you now?
Like I said before, I'll fight anybody. I'm just working my way up and hopefully fighting top 10. That's my goal.
You had all of your 3 fights in Europe. Do you want to go to America next?
Well, like Dana said, you know, we fight everywhere. If it's in Europe, America, Brazil, or, you know, doesn't matter where. Where Dana sends us, we gotta go and do our job.
Thank you.
We'll take a couple more questions. 2 more.
I have a question for Gunnar. Gunnar, you were talking about your stand-up, that you've been working a lot on it. How would you assess your performance on the feet?
What?
How would you assess your performance on the feet?
I like this fight. You know, it was a lot on the feet, and it took a while to kind of get my rhythm and get into. You know, Zach is a very tough guy, and with some guys you just kind of have to pick them apart slowly. You know, and it takes time. Zach knew what he was doing from every position, so in the second round I started picking up the pace, putting a little bit more pressure on him, picking up my speed. I was happy with my stand-up today. Yeah?
Thank you. I have a question for Ian. Ian, a lot of fans have been talking about a matchup between you and John Lineker as a #1 contender fight. What are your thoughts about that? And Dana, can you comment on that?
Sign me up. Like I said, I'll fight anybody. You know, he's top 5 or whatever. And just like tonight, you might hit hard, but you can't touch me. So we'll see how that goes, you know. And I think if you look at like the Bogotinov fight, he's got pretty big holes in his wrestling and jiu-jitsu. So that's a fight I'd love to take.
We'll see. One more question. Go ahead.
One question for Norman and one for
Diego.
Diego, first of all. Obviously, a lot of respect here. Can you just talk about taking positives away from this whole experience? Obviously, you didn't win the fight, but can you start to think about some of the positives?
Yeah, just go back home, take some time off, and keep the condition up. You know, I was like I said, I would spend 90 hours a day every day. I come to fight Conor, you know. I come to try to do my best. Like I say, he's the best tonight. I cannot do anything. I'm not upset about myself, you know, because I bring the fight. So the wins, the way he say, he's bringing his flag, I bring my flag. He's taking his shirts, I take my shirts. He's all ready to go right there, you know. Like it's funny, and right now we talk about that, but you know, it's amazing how the UFC make everything before and then after everything is cool. So I'm gonna go just back home and push myself hard. In whatever way UFC call, I make sure I'm gonna be doing my best. So.
And for Norman, Diego Sanchez. Why did you call out Diego Sanchez after the fight?
Basically, his last fight, I feel like Ross Pearson beat him in his last fight. So I tweeted him saying, do you seriously think you won that fight? And he says yes. So as I don't know what fight you were watching because I was watching a totally different fight. So for that reason, I just felt like I wanted to fight him. I think it'd be an interesting matchup. He's in the top 20, top 15, and that's where I want to be. You know, I want to push right up into them rankings because I'm here for the long haul. I ain't going nowhere. You know, so I know he's a big draw for the UFC. You know, he makes a lot of money. You know, but I think it'd be a great stepping stone for me, and possibly we could make it happen maybe in Australia, or maybe even anywhere. It doesn't matter. I'll fight anywhere. Maybe I'll fight him in America, Vegas, Brazil. Doesn't make no difference to me. I'll fight him. So that's it, really.
Thank you guys very much. We appreciate it. Have a good night. That would have bummed you out if he caught it.